Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gauriba, Hariba, Hariba, Hariba. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya. Astotra Satat Srimad is Divine Grace, he is compound Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya. Astotra Satat Srimad is Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Si Kahao Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhara Si Vasadi Si Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Si Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Si Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Si Mayapanavadev Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Dham Ki Jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vina Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Sama devotees, all glories to Sama devotees, all glories to Sama devotees, all glories to Sisi Gaura and Guranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mandy, can I ask you something? You may have to send me the link to all the classes after I give it. Narayanam namaskritya narancheva narottamam devim saraswati vyamsa tato jaya mudiraya nasta paye svabhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhakti bhavaiti naistike. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 17, text 2 to text 5. Text 2, that's what I'm on the board. Ditistu Bhatu Adeshad Apatya Parishankini Punevasa Sate Sadvi Putra Prasu Suveyamo Ditistu Bhatu Adeshad Apatya Parishankini Punivasa Sati Sadvi Putra Prasu Suveyamo Ditistu Bhatu Adesad Apatya Parisankini Pune Vasa Sate Sadvi Putra Prasu Suveyamo. Can someone try? Ladies? So word for word translation, and translation by His Divine Grace is confirmed Acharya, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Diti, two bed, but two of her husband. Adesat, by the order, Apatya, from her children, Parishankini, being apprehensive of trouble, Pune, full, Vasasati, after 100 years, Sadvi, the virtuous lady, Putra, two sons, Prasusuve, begot, Yama, twins. The virtuous lady, translation, the virtuous lady Diti had been very apprehensive of trouble to the gods from the children in her womb, and her husband predicted the same. She brought forth twin sons after a full 100 years of pregnancy. Good for you. Okay, there's no purport, so we'll go to the next text. Utpatata Anta Bahawastatra Niputu Jayamanayo Divi Bhuvyatang Rikshesha Lokashoru Bhayavaha Bhayavaha. Translation: on the birth of the two demons, there were many natural disturbances, all very fearful and wonderful. In the heavenly planets, in the earthly planets, and in between. Text 4. Sahachala bhuvas chelu disasava praja jwalu stolikasas shanaya sanaya petu ketavas chati hetavaha. Translation: there were earthquakes along the mountains on the earth, and it appeared that there was fire everywhere. Many inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared, along with comets, meteors, and thunderbolts. Purport: when natural disturbances occur on a planet, one should understand that a demon must have taken birth there. In the present age, the number of demoniac people is increasing. Therefore, natural disturbances are also natural disturbances are also increasing. There is no doubt about this, as we can understand from the statements of the Bhagavatam. Text 5. Vavavayu sudus pasaha putkaran trayan muhu unmulayan nagapatin Vatyaniko Rajodvajaha. Translation: their blue wings, which were most uninviting to the touch, hissing again and again and uprooting gigantic trees. They had storms for their armies and clouds of dust for their ensigns. Purport: when there are natural disturbances like blowing cyclones, too much heat or snowfall, and uprooting of trees by hurricanes, it is to be understood that the demoniac population is increasing, and and so the natural disturbances is also taking place. There are many countries on the globe, even at the present moment, where all these disturbances are current. This is true all over the world. There is insufficient sunshine, and there are always clouds in the sky, snowfall, and severe cold. These are sure that such places are inhabited by demoniac people who are accustomed to all kinds of forbidden, sinful activity. Omagana, Timirandasya, Ganajana Sarakaya, Sakso Militam, Yena Tasmai, Sigurabe Namaha, Sachetam Manobistam, Stapetam, Yenabutali, Swayam Rupam Kadamayam, Dadatisa, Padantika. Vanchakalpatari Vicha, Kripasan Vihayavicha, Patitanam Pavanam Vya, Vashnam Namo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistana Srimad Bhakti Vasudeva Swami. Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Pachari Satgadisatari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasudeva Sri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Okay, so welcome everyone for sparing the time to come to participate in the class. In most cases, people come, even people come to the Holy Dam or come to the theater, and they're not interested in sitting down in the class. They're not interested in hearing from the sadhu. They're not interested in trying to know what is going on. Interested in just being there, which is good also, because at least the interest is there to come to the dam. And it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that if one goes to the holy place and gives no attention to hear from the sadhus, what did Bhagavatam say? What did it say? Madri? Oh, what is it? Okay. Huh? Is that what? Oh, no, but there's a specific statement. People go to the holy place, they go to take bath in the Ganga, but they don't care about, or they go to the theater, they don't care about hearing the message of God from the sadhus there. It becomes like a social culture. They go, have you been to Vrindavan? I just came from Vrindavan. Have you been to Mayapur? Yeah, I just came from Mayapur. Never attended one class. Never went to make inquiries from the sadhus there. So, this is condemned in the Srimad Bhagavatam in very, very harsh words. I don't want to repeat it, but it's condemned. And so, I was mentioning the other day how the deity's children, Hiranyakasipu and Hirayaksha, were actually born of very unfavorable circumstances. So it shows us, if you read the details of this very story or this lila, it shows us how procreation is a science to produce the type of child you produce. What type of child do you want? Diti just wanted to have sex with Kashyapa. She was agitated, and she had demanded the husband with heavy philosophy. Look, a married woman, this is your responsibility to satisfy me. What are you talking about? And I need it now. Kashyapa told this is an inauspicious hour, inauspicious time. Diti didn't want to hear anything. And then he gave in. Then after the sexual intercourse, Kashyapa told her, you are impregnated with 2 demons. You never hear me. I mean, it's like, sometimes people want to get married. People get attracted to each other. They want to get married. And then they are told by higher authorities, hey, in the Vedic culture, we check compatibilities. And then here comes one person says, I've been looking for a partner for all these years. This is the only one I could catch. I don't care for compatibilities. Yeah, someone told me that. And then we got married. After a few years, divorce. So the Vedic injunctions, the Sri Vyasadeva is a literary incarnation. Is a literal incarnation of Krishna. Krishna came to set up the system. Every machine has a manual. Every gasket you have, electronic gasket you have, has a manual. You want to buy a TV, audio machines, or whatever, a radio, they give you a paperwork, like a menu, how to operate that machine. So these bodies are also like a machine. It's like a menu. We have to know how to operate it. People want to have sex. They should know how to operate. Otherwise, you risk having a child that you will blame Krishna. Why do you, Krishna, I've been worshiping you for decades. This is the child you gave to me. He or she is not interested in Krishna consciousness. It's very easy to blame Krishna. Oh yeah, we've seen all of this in our movement. So look at the example of Diti. This was the result of illicit sex. See, to marry, anyone can get married. And the young people who are planning to marry, they should hear this. Anybody can get married. The question is, being a Grihastha. Being a Grihastha is more difficult than even being a Swami, being a Brahmachari. Oh yeah. If you're a real Grihastha, you are bound, you are head bound to go back to Krishna at the end of this life. Yeah. Because to be a Grihastha is so difficult. To marry, anybody can marry. I like giving the example of the monkeys in Vrindavan. Anyone has experience with some monkey in Vrindavan here? Yeah. Yeah. Can someone tell us the experience with monkeys with a monkey in Vrindavan? Yeah. So, anything the monkeys in Vrindavan will want to take from you, especially a ripe banana. If you carry a ripe banana, you can't, especially if you go to the Baja area. That place is so dangerous. You can't wear glasses. You can't carry a bag. You can't wear a hat. I remember one time during the winter, I was wearing a hat, and then I went to one of the Goswami's temples. When there, as I was coming out, I was wearing the garland. The pujari gave me a garland. I was wearing the garland. One real big monkey was coming like this. And so the devotee that I went together with, is a resident there, he said, Maharaja, just coming for a garland. He's coming for a garland. Give him the garland. Give him the garland. So I removed the garland and threw it to him. Then he took it and then he left. They attack you. So, attack is one thing. They are also very smart, clever. I remember, one GPC told me a story. He knows the monkeys in Vrindavan, they took your glasses away. They snapped your glasses. So he was going into to that area, so he put his glasses inside his pocket, not knowing a monkey was watching him. How he put his glasses inside his pocket. So he went to pay obeisances before the altar, before the deities. And this monkey came, put his hand inside his pocket, collected his glasses, and went away. So they are so smart. That is just the background. That if you keep a monkey in a room filled with ripe bananas, they take anything. Ripe bananas is unthinkable. The monkey will leave it go free. Now suppose you have a bunch of ripe bananas in the room, and you put a Vraja monkey in the room, a typical Vraja monkey in the room, and then you tell this monkey that, you know what, these ripe bananas are for you, but don't touch it. You will stay with these bananas in the room, don't touch it. And anytime you feel like you're feeling hungry, you let me know. We'll perform some rituals before you have to eat it. And then the monkey tells you, okay, if Vrindavan monkey tells you, yes, this is a good idea. Yes, this is a good idea. So he locked the monkey and the bananas there. The monkey will stay away from the bananas? Huh? Is it possible? So it's so tempting that two people who are attracted to each other, they come together, and look, the very literature is just full of rules. Sometimes I just feel pity, for married people. There's so many rules. There's a time you have to have the sex. There are a number of rounds you have to chant. Husband and wife, you have to chant before you have the sex. Whew. I remember at 22nd Avenue in the early days of Prabhupada, he just gave initiation. I mean, he was to give initiation, or what he have to give initiation, something. But at 22nd Avenue, so the devotees were asking questions to Prabhupada about how many rounds initiated. If someone is initiated, how many rounds will they have to chant? So they debated until it came down to 16. First Prabhupada said 64, and then, they said it's impossible, they cannot do that. Those early days, the first batch of the initiates. And then Prabhupada said, all right, 32 rounds. They said, no, we cannot do that. And then Prabhupada said, 16 minimum. No going back. And someone asked, so if someone is married, how many rounds before they should have sex? Prabhupada said 50 rounds each. 50. So how many people are going to be able to chant 50 rounds, husband and wife, before they have sex? That's why I said, to be married is one thing, to be a grihastha is very challenging. And therefore, the deity's case is just a typical example of how sex impulse can drive someone crazy. And you have to bring up different type of philosophies to rationalize why you need it at that time that you are agitated. So if both husband and wife, they are not strong enough, it is very difficult to invoke a powerful child, a prahlad, into the family. If it is just based on, like Diti's case, it was based on gratifying her senses. And this was the result. The husband knew, look, this is not proper, it's not a good time, but she didn't want to hear anything. And sometimes also we get married without understanding the psychology of the opposite sex. A man these days will find all of this. It's so rampant. A young man finishes from college, acquiring skills, get a good job, has plenty of money, buys a house, I want to marry. They marry, then have, in most cases, they don't have any iota, a dime of knowledge about women's psychology. Nothing. The women, the same thing in most cases. And now they have to come together and they will have to experiment on each other and commit offenses against each other. And if the couple, if they are devotees, it's even so delicate. Because each time you commit offense against a devotee, it's a female devotee, it's Vaishnavi aparat. It's a male devotee, it's Vaishnava aparat. Look at this situation. And so, Papa gives us some clear insight about the natural disasters, hurricanes, cyclones, earthquakes. And Papa said, the understanding is that some demonic forces have appeared. And so it means our activities, our social functionality, our sex acts are generating so much. And how many people out there understand this science of procreation? How many people out there? No, traditionally, anyone who is growing up, they just marry, they get attracted, they see each other. I remember I was watching a court case where, the man brought the woman to court to determine the paternity of the child, because the woman said, "You are the father of the child." Imagine, these are things unheard of in Vedic culture. A man takes the wife to court to determine the paternity of the child. So they have to do a DNA test to see who is the father. People are so loose. So we had just one deity at that time. There's so many minuscule deities on the planet right now. And so it is important for us to understand the philosophy, to read the books, understand the books, and also implement the teachings in our lives. If we implement the teachings in our lives, we can turn this whole planet to a Vaikuntha planet. But even in our own society, we are exposed to this knowledge. We're not talking about people who are not exposed to this knowledge. We are exposed to this knowledge, and we see so many horrible social things going on in our society. A man is married, he sees another woman. That woman is also married, and they both run away from their families, leaving their children behind. I have seen this. So the knowledge is there. You see, in knowledge acquisition, we have what we call the theoretical or the conceptual frameworks. Like we say, a Christian says that everyone is my part and parcel. Mama evam so jiva loke, jiva bhutta sanatana. Then we have the acharyas, they make a commentary on this very principle, this phenomenon. And then the adept practitioner wants to implement an integrated value of the commentaries of the acharyas and what Krishna says. In other words, they want to leave those principles. That is the application. Application is what we lack in most cases, even in our own movement. If we apply that principle even in our own communities, say, Mama Evam to Jiva Loki, our communities will be like, Vaikuntha Lokas. That we treat everybody like a family, like a brother, like a sister, a beloved brother. Because sometimes we have also in the families, brothers and sisters, or brothers and brothers, they fight each other all the time. But if you're a beloved brother or beloved sister, you don't fight, you care for them. And so, Krishna has given us more than we deserve. Prabhupada has given us more than we deserve. It's up to us to implement what we are hearing from the Bhagavatam in our lives to create a constructive societal transformation. If we don't apply these teachings in our lives, our societies will not be constructively transformed. But if we do, we see people of like minds will like to come and give their lives to the system. Energies we radiate is what attracts people to want to come and join us to live in our communities. So we hear the philosophy, and the important thing for us is to see how we are practicing what we have heard from the scriptures. Mr. Prabhupada has given us some, this is a very harsh harsh truth. He said, all of these disturbances in most cases signifies that, some demonic forces are taking bed. So we find when ISKCON and Maharaja took bed, there was so much disturbances on the planet, even in the heavenly planets. Not just this earth, even in the heavenly planets, there was so much disturbances. That is the power of the demoniac force. And so we should understand. And we have seen this every year. We are seeing all of these things around us. See, the government can only give us a warning. There's a cyclone coming. They can't stop it. Oh no, they can't stop it. And so we have to be able to understand that by implementing these teachings in our lives, we can help to constructively improve society. And people will emulate our lifestyles. If people come to our temples and they don't see, we don't radiate what they have read from the books, they will not be enthused to give their lives to the system. And so it's very important for us to remind ourselves about the implications of these very teachings. These very stories about deity, ISKCON, they're very instructive. To me, they're very instructive because it just gives you an idea about the science of procreation. What you put in is what you get. You can't blame Krishna. Oh yeah. We cannot blame Krishna. If we follow this science meticulously, we will procreate, generate children that will redirect this misdirected civilization. Any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Another amazing class. I have many questions. I'll start with one. You mentioned that the Grihastas, if they do it right, they go back to Godhead in this lifetime, but it's very difficult. Yeah. And I read a lot in the Bhagavatam, this delineation between Grihamedi and Grihasta. Okay. But at the same time, it seems like putting it into practice, people talk about it almost like it's a gray scale. There's this highest standard, but below that, in a grihast, just getting married and like only enjoying with your husband or wife, or there's sort of like a stepping process. So my question is, how dangerous are those areas between grihamedi just for enjoying versus the perfect grihasta with all of the different processes and only for procreation? What about all the other devotees who fall into that middle ground? What about those devotees? What happens to them?
Thank you. That's a very intelligent and insightful question. And these are practical things that we can understand and we can use in creating a very powerful institution or powerful organization. So yeah, the point is that we know the right thing, we should do the right thing. We should not look at, say, for instance, okay, she doesn't chant 16 rounds. And she's still fine, She's still active. I remember somebody, there was one boy, I don't want to mention the country. He told me, Vasudev, see, you are strict. Okay, that's fine. But see, I am not. I don't follow even the four regulatory principle, but I'm still here. Some people who are following the regulatory principle, they are blooped. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm still here. I'm still kicking on with my... So sometimes people are even proud of not following the standard, and they're proud of it. We should be role models for others. Don't look at what others are doing. Look at the standard that is there in the scriptures. And we should be role models for people who are coming up. Forget about what will happen to those people who don't follow the standard. We should be concerned. I want to follow the standard and achieve the ultimate goal. People come with enthusiasm in the beginning to devotional life, and as time progresses, that enthusiasm begins to wane, and they begin to feel comfortable with mediocrity. And you see, being a mediocre will not really help to catapult us to the spiritual world. See, Lord Krishna had mentioned even in the Gita that out of thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And after those who endeavor for perfection, hardly one knows him in truth. Knowing him in truth, it matters a lot. It's not just a Paramahamsa guru or a Swami. Look, Prabhupada's Lord Chaitanya's associates, they were grihastas. But they were so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The Pandavas were grihastas. They were not Swamis, they were not brahmacharis. And so sometimes we tend to think that getting married is a fall down. No, it is not. Married life is even more difficult to practice Krishna consciousness in married life. Because it's like the monkey, you have the ripe banana there, and he said, no way. I mean, you have to perform some rituals before you eat the ripe banana. Isn't that a challenge? It's a big challenge. It's very difficult, to my estimation. But sometimes we don't really look at details and understand how challenging it is, and then we tend to condemn people. And this, I find this very common in places where there are brahmacharis, and someone may be thinking because I'm putting on a saffron cloth, I'm superior to somebody who is married. Who said? You're putting on the saffron cloth. So what? So we should be determined in whatever capacity, whatever ashram we are, we should be determined to attain the ultimate goal. We should be determined to attain the ultimate goal. We should not look at what someone else is doing. The frailties of someone else should not be our business. We should look at those who are very serious with their devotional life and develop some relationship with them so that we can become enthused and motivated to be astute in our devotional practice. This should be our concern. You see, people come with different ideas, different motives. And a lot of people, they have good intentions. It's just that some intrinsic and extrinsic factors compel people to become like, mediocres. But then, if we have, some strong association, a very vibrant, devotionally charged environment to practice, even if you're a grihasta, in fact, you can go back to God. Advaita Acharya was a Swami. Advaita Acharya is here. He invoked Lord Chaitanya to come. But then the point is, being a grihasta is a heavy responsibility. It's a heavy responsibility. You see, I know some of the young people, they are following, because I remember, I have some two aspiring disciples in London, and they wanted to have a child, and so, the lady, she came to me, was asking some things about I didn't know that the both of them have gone to read the Bhagavatam Samskara book, and so they came asking me some questions. And I was so enthused to understand that, they're so determined. And then I remember, so the girl, it was not a problem for her because she's been chanting for years. And so the boy just knew, and then the boy came complaining to me that, what if I'm not able to finish the 15 rounds before 5 o'clock, before 5 a.m.? I said, then you practice again another day. So some devotees have been very serious about this. Yeah, they've been very serious to practice. It's a science. Science means activity, observation, and results. If you hit one chemical with another chemical, you have some gas emissions. You have to use the litmus paper to test that gas and see what type of gas is that. This is science. Procreation is also a science. Unfortunately, people don't understand it. That's a science. People think that, the opposite sex coming together, the sex attraction is just meant for gratification of the senses only. This is where people get it wrong. Yeah. So and I've seen so many cases. In the past also, people used to say, I saw 8 marriages in one festival. One festival, 8 marriages were conducted. And after 10 years, only 2 marriages were sustained. The rest 6, they have broken apart. In the past also, and I saw that it's been in the early days when I joined, people tend to say that, those rules, charting compatibilities, these are for karmis, not for us. We are transcendental, we are devotees. But if you are so transcendental, you don't need sex. You want to have sex, follow the Vedic system, so that you don't have to blame Krishna in the future about the type of child you have. Yeah. Any in the last comment or questions? Yes, go ahead.
I'm wondering, you were talking about, these disturbances in the purport, these disturbances, natural disasters, usually indicate demons being born. And we're just like outside of this whole big COVID epidemic. So I'm actually wondering if in your social circles, if you guys have discussed what demon, or if that, if that's an indication of something coming.
Okay, thank you. That's another interesting point. You see, each time we have heavy disasters, like diseases, whether it is man, it is generated by man, or whatever, the question is, why did Krishna allow this to happen? Yeah. Okay, there's a plane crash. The Prime Minister of Iran just died in a crash. So the question is, if some disaster happens, if there is a supreme controller, why did he allow disaster to happen? Yeah. So yeah, in case of the COVID, also we have this partial destruction and the universal destruction. So the partial destruction comes in waves of different levels. Like we have diseases that will just, crop up and wipe off people like anything. And we have these earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods. It just shows that this world is actually, we are mutual local bases. We are residents of the planet of death. Why do we want to feel comfortable here? Why are we planning to come back here? Yeah, we may say, well, I'm not planning to come back to the planet of death. But then, what strategies are you putting in place to be able to decarcerate yourself from these clutches of samsara? So yeah, even the COVID is born out of sinful reactions. Collective, it's called cumulative requital. Cumulative requital means some incident happened that wipes away so many people, sends away so many people out of their bodies. Now, for the devotees, we don't really care. I remember, see, there was in Vrindavan, there was one of my friends. She's a medical doctor. She married to one young guy. The guy is from Delhi. She is from Chandigarh. They married just, I think, 2 or 3 years back. The COVID came. This lady had COVID. Was infected with COVID. Husband was running helter-skelter to get doctors to treat her. You know what she told him? Hey, Prabhu, no treatment. I am living. Your beautiful wife, intelligent wife, educated wife tells you, no treatment. I am living. That could be very devastating. That's what she did. It goes a long way to tell us why we need to respect and honor people in this movement. We don't know who is who. She said, this is the best place to go from. This is the best time to live. No treatment. This is not a disease that you cannot be treated. They are treating COVID all over the place. But she said, no, she's living.
Did she leave?
She left. And the husband told me when they were cremating the body by the Jamuna, they saw, when they were packing the ashes, they saw a deity inside there. Yeah. So, see, understand. Bahunam jamanamante gyanava mam prapadyanti Vasudeva Swami Sabahatma Sudolaba. It's very difficult for anybody and everyone to take interest in Krishna consciousness, to sit down and chant 16 rounds, to follow forever to principles. So we have to honor people around us. We have to respect people because it has been a long way before they came to this path. So yeah, for us we should not really, if we are following strictly, we should not care, we should not worry, you know. Anytime, if even a flood just comes and then wipes everybody off, so what? The thing is, we should have emergency consciousness. Anything could happen the next moment. Are we prepared to quit? Or we're thinking, well, I'm going to live for, 150 years. Yeah. Okay, it's time to adjourn this meeting. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Maharaj, is this the last class you'll be giving while you're here? You're leaving? Are you leaving? When
have to do a question and answer